Deirdre, your trade liaison for the approved tourist guides of Ireland. People come to Ireland because of the scenery, the culture, and the friendliness of the people. And in many ways, tour guides epitomize all of that.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me today, Owen. I really appreciate it. Love your work. Love that we're a member. I'm one of two trade liaisons for ATGI, the Approved Tourist Guides of Ireland. And that's it. People come for the heritage, the culture, the people,
Yeah,
the geological heritage, the storytelling, the music. And
yeah.
so to be a tourist guide and to welcome people here is just it's a gift. It's amazing.
Yeah, and I saw that the ATGI, I think, in its original form was formed, I think, back in 1977 or something. So, you and I weren't around then, of course, Deirdre, but ATGI itself is a great heritage. How many members, how many guides are there within ATGI?
To date, right now, we have 650 members.
Great,
And I'm so happy you brought that up. We are now this week starting the planning for our 50th anniversary, which is
super.
in 2 years.
And we obviously Ireland welcomes tourists from all over the world. So I presume quite a lot of your members have a number of languages because, obviously the American market and the UK market is obviously in English, but French visitors, German visitors, the interpretation of Ireland really should be told in their own natural tongue, shouldn't it?
Absolutely. We have, I'd say 30% of our guides, of our tourist guides are foreign language speakers. And that's amazing. I don't want to get in trouble here, but yes, we have German, French, Italian, I believe Lithuanian, Latvian, Portuguese. And it's important. It's really, really important that guests to Ireland are able to hear it in their native tongue, in their native language. And so that's we do, and we celebrate that. It's very important.
Yeah, and all the guides are obviously fully trained and they're certified. How does one then become a guide? So if I have an interest in Irish history or Irish heritage and tourism and want to communicate that to a visiting group, how do I go about getting trained, getting certified, getting licensed, and becoming a member of ATGI?
So that's a very important question. I am wearing my lanyard and my ID, and you see right here, this is our national badge. You have to do a QQI level 6 course. There's regional and national. There are a number of different places that offer this training. And once you get certified, you can become a member of ATGI because ATGI, you're insured, you're fully insured. And when people see that you have the badge and that you're a member, they know that you're qualified. And we have guides that they are hiking all different forms of concentration, but all under the ACI badge that they know that they're fully trained and that they're fully qualified and insured. And so that would mean that they expect that you know what proper tour management is, health and
Yeah.
safety regulations. So we always tell people, go get your qualifications. And then once you have it certified and approved, then you can seek
Yeah.
membership.
And do you get business directly or do you go through tour operators and DMCs or is it a bit of both?
It's a bit of both, Owen. It's a bit of
Yeah,
both. We do have a find a guide directory. And once you're in with a company, if you're reliable, you get business. And it's also word of mouth.
yeah,
A lot of times guides, I always say, guides help one another. We're our biggest support network.
yeah,
And if you can't do a tour, you're away, um, you'll ask a guide or you'll refer a guide. I always get questions from tour operators that I work with. Who would you recommend? Who would you recommend in Galway, or who would you recommend in Dublin? And so word of mouth, and also your relationships with the tour operators, with the incentives, with locals, with even
Yeah.
accommodation providers and everything.
Yeah, and I can detect, or we can all detect an American accent there. So you obviously were stateside for quite some time, and the US obviously is such an important market for Irish tourism. What's the feedback from, say, American visitors, or indeed your colleagues who might do Spanish groups or French groups? What's the feedback generally on the quality of the Irish tourism product?
Oh, it's amazing. The feedback is, I get often that it's life-changing. My parents were both from Ireland, and it was important. I grew up in both places, traveled back and forth. I did the same for both of my children every summer. They were here before I relocated 4 years ago almost. And um, the diaspora around the world, it's global.
Yeah,
The Irish that left the shores here and they traveled across the world. And so the visitors that come, whether it's North America, whether it's Australia, whether it's Europe, the Far East, there's something magical about Ireland.
yeah,
And tourist guides, we have the ability to welcome them and to show them Ireland through their eyes and to tell the stories. Often you hear of people that the local pubs, a local pub has closed, or their grandfather or grandmother, they were Shanakees. And
yes,
it's important to tell the stories. It's important to tell the stories of those that left here, and
yeah,
to make that connection, to talk
yeah,
about ancient Ireland and the calendar and the native trees and why it's important that we practice the principles of leave no trace, and that we're
yeah,
all part of the sustainable tourism network. It's important to keep history alive.
yeah,
And so often I get that people just say they want to just sit and look at the stars
yeah,
or look at the landscape. Um,
yeah.
and so I think we play a very, very important partnership with all of the tourism providers because we're on the ground and we're often the first people that they see when they come off the ferry or off the flights, the planes, and we're the last one to bid them farewell and see you soon again.
Yeah, no, it's an absolutely really, really vital service you provide to both the industry partners, but also to the tourist that comes to our shores. And of course, there was International Tour Guide Day, I think, last month. So it's important to every country, but I think particularly important to Ireland because we need to tell our story the human way and the personal way. So Deirdre, thank you so much for all the hard work that you do for Irish tourism, and best of luck for the year ahead.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.